Lawwin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawwin Media Network.
Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of season 5 of Be Bold, Why Not? And you are watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, and twitch.tv. And to all our viewers in the Philippines, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I know you are always wanting or like so excited to see us on a Monday evening because we know that we can empower you and inspire you and just motivate you and just help you or guide you live a better life here at Be Bold, Why Not? So if you miss our live show, don't worry because you can also listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and a lot more. And before I get in our guest for tonight, let's just show the mechanics of our game.
How to join the game. 1. Watch the live show and listen to the conversation. 2. Participate and share your experiences on the topic during the live show. 3. Type your thoughts or experience via comment section. 4. All participants are eligible to win a prize. 5. The more you comment, the greater your chances of winning. 6. We will use Wheel of
There you go. So to all our viewers, make comments as many as you want, as much as you want. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment too, and we'll try our very best to answer them. Anyways, I am just so privileged and honored and really blessed to have another special guest. You know, I am my journey in this speaking, it has been really great because I've met so many people that I have connected with that are very kind-hearted and generous with their time. And tonight we have another woman power in the show, and I just would like to introduce her first and read a little bit of her bio. Well, tonight we have Sabrina Williams. She is a dynamic force in personal and professional development with over 20 years. Yes, you heard that right. 20 years of experience transforming lives, careers, and communities. She is the founder and CEO of SIS Motivation. As a career reinvention strategist, life coach, speaker, and author, Sabrina leads a transformative firm that empowers individuals and organizations to break barriers and achieve success. She is also the author of Tears That Hide Within. This powerful book weaves a narrative of resilience and self-discovery, inspiring readers to confront their truths and embrace their healing journeys. She is a globally recognized expert. Endorsed by the legendary Les Brown, Sabrina delivers electrifying talks that inspire audiences to break limitations and reach new heights, earning acclaim in international media. Sabrina Williams is a catalyst for change, empowering others to reclaim their narratives and unlock their potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get Sabrina in. Come on, Sabrina.
Hello, hello, hello. How are
There
you?
she is.
How are you, MJ? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Oh, thank you. The pleasure is mine. I really am so glad and blessed to have you tonight. And I'm very sure that you will inspire a lot of our viewers. And you look beautiful, by the way.
You.
You look so
Mhm.
good. I love your aura and everything. So as we start our show every night, we want to learn more about our beautiful guests. So if you could just let us know where you're from and about your family a little
Yeah,
bit.
sure.
Yeah.
So I am from Virginia. I've been here all my life. I've traveled the world, but I keep coming back home with my family. So I have two sensational adult children and two beautiful grandchildren. I started my
Mhm.
career at an early age. I'm in my 20s. It's in my DNA to work really hard, and I'm very driven. So in my early 20s, I started working for a corporation, stayed there for 20 years, and throughout that my career, that's when I found the love of speaking. I started off in learning and
Mhm.
development, facilitating courses, and actually doing a lot of coaching, career coaching to the employees there. So since then,
Mhm.
I've moved into several different careers in my life because I am one of these people who follow my passion. And so worked
Uh-huh.
with disadvantaged populations, helping them to secure jobs and careers, and then opened my own company in the middle of the pandemic. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'm happy to answer any.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll get yeah, and yeah, and we'll get to know more about you in a deeper level as we go on with the conversation. But what's interesting is you mentioned you traveled the world. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what made you travel all
Yeah.
over? Is it because of career or yeah, tell us more about that because that seems so exciting to
Yeah.
me. Yes.
So I was blessed enough to be in a career where I first, as I mentioned, I started with facilitating, and then I started to manage facilitators and instructional designers who develop content. And the company that I worked for, they were all over the world. So I had an opportunity
Mhm.
through this organization to travel to Africa and India and Philippines and many different other places. Yeah. So
Oh,
yes,
cool.
so it was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
exciting. Had opportunity to learn different cultures, and then from there, once I started speaking more, I've done a lot of Zoom calls internationally as well, and yeah, so that really triggered my passion for travel.
Mhm.
So I actually
Mhm.
on the side became a travel agent, MJ, just so that I could travel. So yeah, really
Oh,
love
see, that's a wise one to do,
that.
right? It's like hitting two birds with one stone,
Mhm, that's
right?
right.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, of all the places that you've been to, which one is your favorite? It's not that I want to hear Philippines, but no, just be honest, just kidding. But yeah, which one interested you
Yeah.
most, like
Um,
in culture and anything
South
else?
Africa actually interests me most. It was a place where
Mhm.
I could really ground myself. It was a opportunity for me to I'm not I don't go to places like where the tourist goes. I typically go with the natives.
Mhm.
So it was an opportunity for me to really do a lot of community work, meet interesting people, help as
Mhm.
much as I can, and also embrace the learning from others, and learned a lot
Uh-huh.
from them about myself. So yeah, South Africa
Mhm.
is a place for me that I actually was go. I think I've been there like 10 times. So Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. It's one of my bucket lists too, to travel to more than two countries, not just the Philippines and United States.
You have to do it,
Yeah,
MJ.
yeah, that is so amazing. In this line of business or work or passion, I know that connection is very
Yes.
important, or in
Mhm.
communities. So you just said it, building that relationship and immersion in the culture really helped. So what was the greatest experience or most memorable time you had connecting with these different
Yeah.
cultures as you were
It's so
traveling?
many, so many. The first one that would come to mind is that I had an opportunity. I spent 30 days in Nigeria, so I had an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
attend a wedding, and to just
Mm-hmm.
see the wedding in a different light, experiencing the culture, experiencing just the happiness and the joy, and how they
Mm-hmm.
respect, their elders, and getting into a place where, they're uniting as husband and wife. It was just
Uh-huh.
inspiring to me.
Uh-huh.
So that was one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another experience was in actually India. I was in India and had an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to attend one of their festivals, which was dynamic. It was
Uh-huh.
dynamic, and and
Yeah.
it was just anywhere that I go, I really try to do something that relates to everyone else and make sure that I'm embracing their culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I participate in whatever. If you invite me somewhere, I'm going. So yeah, those
Okay.
were the two. Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I know we have like this chapters in
Mhm.
our lives where we just love to go back and just be grateful for, because they have given us so much joy and just bliss and all that. So that's amazing. Now let's talk about maybe some childhood experiences that you feel like have helped shape you for who you are
Yeah.
now. I mean, are there any experiences during your growing up that have shaped your vision and your passion and all that? I just want to hear that, because
Mhm.
that's where our passion starts, right?
Right.
It's not late in life, but it
Yeah.
starts from our early days,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
when
a
you were
great
young.
question. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a great question, and that's where I will talk about my book, but my book starts in childhood, and it's inspired
Mhm.
by my life and so many other people's lives that I've ran into. But I am definitely a country girl at heart, right? And so
Mhm.
I grew up with a big family. It's my
Mhm.
brother and I directly, but I was blessed enough to grow up with my grandmother and my grandfather and my uncles and my aunts. All of us were one big family. And one of the things that was instilled in me as at an early age, just by watching, my grandfather and my grandmother, is really the work ethic, right? If you want
Mhm.
something in life, you really have to drive and reach that goal, right? You really have to, don't let fear stop you, right? Know where you
Mhm.
want to go and do it scared, right? And so I have always, just by seeing that, I've
Mhm.
always been that person to not be afraid to do something that other people may think that's crazy. But
Mhm.
end of the day, it's instilled in me to move forward in life, set goals,
Mhm.
reach those goals, right? So
Mhm.
that's something that I've seen in
Mhm.
my family, and also entrepreneurship, right? So
Mhm.
um, most of my family, they own their own companies, right? So obviously, growing up, I saw that, that
Mhm.
was just a normal transition for me to say, well, I guess I need to open a business as well. So
That's
it's
good.
not
Yes.
just what your family or your friends or people tell you, it's
Mhm.
also what you see and what
Yes.
it becomes normal for you,
Uh-huh.
and you kind of walk that same journey and that same path. So um yeah,
That's amazing.
that's
Yeah.
really what inspired me to be where I am today.
So it's in your DNA, as you said in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So anyway, I couldn't believe we are already on the first break. So, see, it just goes so fast, but I've enjoyed every minute and every second of it. So, we'll be back after a short break. All right, we're back. Okay. That was so interesting, Sabrina. But before I continue asking you more questions, we're just going to read some of the comments. So let's see here from our viewers. We have Rose Ann Banyas Alvendia. Good PM po. Good PM too. All right. And we have Rose Ann Banyas Alvendia watching from Pangasinan. Okay, and we have Jo Maria Esterija. Good evening, Texas, watching from Pangasinan. And we have a lot of comments tonight from Alvin Reyes. Hello, Ma'am MJ. Good morning po from Pangasinan. Yes, thank you so much. And then we have Daisel Miral Siaton. Good evening, Ma'am MJ, watching from Pangasinan. And we have Francisco Jasmine Ungria. Good evening, Texas. Good morning, Philippines. Watching from Dagupan City. Yes, yes. And we have Geraldine Garcia. Hi, Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina. Watching from Villasis, Pangasinan. Yes, and we have my sister. Hello, my dear Ate MJ, and to Mom Sabrina watching from Ilocos. She's my sister. So,
Oh, my
and
sister.
dear sister, love you. And then we have Grace Regalado. Good evening, Miss MJ and Miss Sabrina. Yes, good morning. And we have Grace Regalado again watching from Manila. Yes, that's awesome. And we have Rio Bustillo. Hello po, Ma'am MJ and Ma'am Sabrina watching from Bulacan. Yes, we have new viewers tonight. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. So those are our comments from our viewers. Again, we encourage you to just give your comments, or if you have any questions at all for our beautiful guest, feel free. Feel free to put it in the comment, and she will definitely give you a beautiful and empowering and just inspiring answer. So just feel free to do that. So, Sabrina, so you grew up with a very disciplined and just an entrepreneur mindset because of your family, that they're all in this line of field, right? So, what during your high school or when you were going off to college, though, what degree did you pursue?
So I did not go to college. I started college. I probably went for about a year, half a year, and then I decided to move into a career. Had an opportunity to do
Oh,
great things in the career that I felt that
uh-huh.
I was going to grow. So I did not complete college. I always tell myself that, I have a master, a doctorate in life, right? And so
Uh-huh.
I've
Yes.
had the opportunity to work in many different areas, in many different um, industries, and also had an opportunity to pursue a lot my passion in many different companies. So, especially with
Uh-huh.
my company and working, having an opportunity to work with several different people, I've
Uh-huh.
learned so much. So, um, as a teenager, not sure if you really want to talk about me being a teenager because I was a bit of a rebel as a teenager.
Well, you know what? Season in our life, we do things that we
Yeah,
may not have wanted to do them, but they are part of the setup for bigger purpose in life. So
right,
I think
right.
people will be inspired just, just a little bit. Let's just in the surface. We don't have to go
Yeah,
deep on
no,
it,
no
but
worries.
yeah,
No worries. I tell my testimony in my
yes.
speaking engagements and everywhere. So, even though I had, my mother and my father, my brother and everyone in my life, at a very young age, I was struck with trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And that trauma um, really put me in a place where I was so young, I didn't know how to handle it. So it put me in
Mm-hmm.
a place of starting to act out, right? And it put me
Mm-hmm.
um, in acting out. I began to wanting to numb myself. So
Mm-hmm.
with drugs and alcohol, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I always say by the time I was 15, I lived the life of an adult, right? And so I went on this journey where um, I was going left when I should have been going straight, right? But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thank God for those struggles that I had,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because um, it taught me so much, right? It made me the person I am today. It was a
Mm-hmm.
long road. It was a long road.
Uh-huh.
But by the time that I was, again in my early 20s, I was ready to just take over the world. And so at that point, pull back,
Yes.
figure out which direction you want to go, and go for it. So, you know,
Mhm,
I talk a little bit about it in my book, because
mhm,
I did share some of my story in the book. Um, but that's also one of the reasons why I really was wanting to get out there and just to explore, because I had this I don't know, it was just something inside of me that just needed to know that there was more out there in the world, and
mhm.
I didn't want to go backwards. So I had to own my own fears and break through and be the best
Wow.
I could be. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is so great. Two things there. Lesson. You don't need to have a degree,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Even a lot of the billionaires, like there were school dropouts. They
Hmm.
just didn't like school, but then business was attracted to them. They were entrepreneurs. Now look at where they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing is, with those experiences that you had and the struggles early on, those actually drove you and motivated you and actually prepared you to take over your passion at an early age as well.
That's right.
Because when
Mhm.
experiences come at a later life, there are people that at our age or my age, I don't know, I don't want to ask your age, but there are people that it takes them forever to actually get to that awakening moment. And it happened to you early on. So look at you
Right.
as young as 20s. On your 20s, you
Yeah.
have lived your passion and have traveled the world, like different countries. And
Yeah.
it's all because those previous experiences that you had, they were just setups for bigger things for you.
That's
So
right.
there's no experience in the world, there's no failure or struggle that are meant to put us down, but they are meant to give us the lessons that we need for us to discover the better version of ourselves. And
Absolutely.
kudos to, yes, because the bigger the struggle, I heard this from Tony Robbins, the
Mhm,
bigger the struggle, the deeper is the lesson that we
mhm,
get in life.
mhm,
And there's no such thing as a failure. It doesn't mean that when you don't get what you want that it's a failure. No, there is
mhm.
always a lesson after an experience,
That's right.
whether or not it's a good outcome or a bad outcome. There's always a lesson out of it, so it's a
Yeah.
win-win in life.
It really
So
is. It really is. A lot of
mhm,
times people, they, even though they've gone through, I mean, you heard my speech with Les Brown, right? There's packages of pain that's dropped at your door every day, right? Everyone has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of pain. And it's
mhm,
really, how do you acknowledge that pain, right? Some of us get up every day and have this huge smile on our face, but we're really broken inside, and we move
mhm,
forward in life and never want to think about it, never want to talk about it, never want to do anything about it. We just kind of want to forget it, and
mhm,
and, and that is what's, even as an adult, that um that's why we make bad decisions. That's why our actions show out. We really need to embrace those things that have happened to us, heal from that, and even if
mhm,
get help, right? Because sometimes you can't do it all alone. Get help so that you can move forward in your journey. You can be the most successful person in the world, but at the end of the day, when you're home alone at night and you're feeling this pain and you're crying, who wants to live like that, right? So
mhm,
so a lot of people, to your point, yes, I am blessed for my struggles, right? But I am still
mhm,
walking that journey, right? Because
mhm.
pain doesn't stop, right? So
No,
it's how to
no.
deal with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pain is a part of our growth. Because
Yes.
if we don't experience pain, that means we're not growing.
That's
It's
right.
like the rubber band. I don't know if you know about John Maxwell's 16 or 15 invaluable laws of growth. It's like the rubber band. Like you have to stretch it,
Mhm.
right? That's how it.
Mhm.
That's how life is. We
Yeah.
get stretched. We grow up. I mean,
Mhm.
that's how we grow. Because if we
Yeah.
don't, then we're just living in this box that we don't even want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Just one thing too that I've learned, um, even from Ed Milet, one of the gurus too that I've been listening to his
Mhm.
podcast. We
Yeah.
are taught early on in life, like when we color things, we have to stay in the line, right?
No, that's right.
Because that's how, right? That's how we are taught. We shouldn't get out of the line, but that's not how life is. That's not
Mhm.
what life is. You
Yeah.
have to get out of that line sometimes and explore. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We don't
Yeah.
find success in our comfort zones,
Yeah. I
right?
always say we need
Mhm,
to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And a lot of
mhm.
people, when it's time to get into that, not being comfortable, they draw back, right? You got to go straight through that door. Stop peeking in that door. Walk straight through that door, because there may be something great waiting for you there.
That's right. That's right. Because a lot of people, that's why some, I myself, I'm guilty about it. It's like you have something in mind that you want to do, right? And then when you realize that it will require more of your time, it will require you to sacrifice some of the things that that you love to do. It will require you to just have a little bit of a stretch in your life, and you feel the pain already, then you
Mhm.
back off
Yeah.
because you don't want to. Yes, because you don't want to get, as you said, you don't want to get uncomfortable, because
Yeah.
being laid back and easy with treat life, everything is good, but then if you
Mhm.
want more, you have to do more and exert more and just just give your all, And
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to do that. And oh my, it's getting so exciting, but we have to go for another break. And when we come back, we will continue with our conversation with Sabrina. So see you in a bit.
Tune into Legal Treats with attorney Eileen Ligote Dizon.
Every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal knowledge, especially on family matters like divorce, child custody, child support, estate planning, probate, and immigration.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, greetings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
All right, we're back and let's read more comments from our viewers. So let's see. Amy Ligo, oh, Rio Bustillo. Hello po, Ma'am MJ and Ma'am Sabrina, watching from Bulacan. Thank you so much. And we have Grace Regalado with her heart emojis. Thank you, Grace. And we have John Denver Esterija. Good evening, Texas. And Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina watching from Pangasinan. And God bless po. We have Megan Bustillo. Hello, Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina watching from Pangasinan. And God bless your show. Thank you very much. And we have Ara Requilman Ungria with heart emojis. We have Cichelle Cuario. Good evening, Texas, watching from Pangasinan.
Yes.
And we have Zaya Ungria. Good evening or good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina, watching from Binalonan, Pangasinan. We have Edward Daseco. Good evening po, Mom MJ, with heart and amen emojis. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And we have Rio Mike Bustillo. Good morning, Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina, watching from Baguio City. Wow, thank you. God bless your show. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I would, yeah, this is just so beautiful. Just hearing your story and just having those inspiring and empowering words from you and sharing your story. And sometimes when you see the vulnerability from other people, you just feel their heart. You just see their heart. And that's how we connect with other people, because in this world, we may have, as you said, you may have all the success in the world, but if you're alone and you don't have anybody to share it to, then life is miserable. I've
Mhm.
heard from a lot of coaches, they know a lot of wealthy, like rich people out there, but when they hear their stories, they're not happy, they're not miserable.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the secret to being joyful and happy and just being content and have the peace in life? What is the secret?
Mhm.
Because I see you have that. I can feel it from your aura. And you even told me you're just recovering, and you still gave your time to us. It doesn't matter what you're going through, you just are willing to share and inspire people. So what
Mhm.
is the secret, Sabrina?
Yeah. So it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
I really think that at the end of the day, a lot of us have started to a lot of us have started to come to a place where we stop getting to know who we are, right? Where
Mhm.
we are working in our careers, we're around different friends, and we sometimes we don't live our own reality because we're living someone else's, right? And in
Mhm.
that space, when you don't know who you are, who you are from an authentic place, then you really don't know what your passions are. You don't know what
Mhm.
you like, right? And so how can you be happy and feel fulfilled when you've never really sat down and say, who am I? What do I like to do?
Mhm.
Right? What are my
Mhm.
passions? And not just talk about it, but do it, right? And so
Yes.
when you talk about some of the individuals that they have all the money in the world, right? They have all the money in the world, but they're miserable, right?
Mhm.
um money can't buy that journey that you walk with getting to know who
Mhm.
you are. Money can't
Mhm.
buy that place in your heart where you feel joy and happiness, right? And the only way
Mhm.
you can get there is really knowing what you want and who you are, and
Mhm.
really what makes you happy. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely, right? And
Yes, yes.
there are some people who are comfortable with being alone, right? I enjoy myself, actually. So
Mhm.
I enjoy my
Uh-huh.
company, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to a place of loneliness, you really need to really sit down and figure out, what is it that why, right? What is it that's instilled within you that you really want to accomplish for yourself and make yourself happy so that you can move forward and make others happy, right? So
Yes.
know if it's the secret. I think it just depends on who you are. And
Mhm.
I would say really take the journey of getting to know yourself.
Mhm. Yes, it starts from there. It
Mhm,
starts from there, right? Because if you don't have any inclination of who you really are, who
mhm.
will ever discover you? Nobody. You got to discover yourself. That's the
Yeah,
only way, as you said, that is the only way that you can actually move forward and just become bolder because now you know who you are. You know what you want. Now you're willing to do whatever it takes for you to live what actually you're born to do.
yeah,
And I remember Les Brown when, during our training with him, I remember he said, you don't want to get to your deathbed where all the things that you wanted to do in life, they're all surrounding you and blaming you or telling you, why didn't you do me? Why didn't you do this and this? And you now are living in regret. And
mhm,
what if, sometimes it takes only one thing, one step, just one bold action to actually
mhm.
discover our purpose.
That's
And
right.
as Les Brown said, everybody has something great or special in us. So everyone, every single creature, every single human being is born for a purpose. And
Mhm.
we all have a role to play in this world. I think sometimes what we struggle the most is we tend to compare ourselves with others.
Yes.
I'm guilty of that. Like, right? The comparison and imposter syndrome. And
Mhm.
it's like sometimes we say to ourselves, "Oh, my story is not good enough. Well, I don't think it's going to impact other people. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that and all that." But what we don't realize is no matter how big or small that thing that you have, you still are a part of this universe. You
That's
are part of the sky. You are part of one of the stars in the sky that has a light to shine.
right.
And
Yeah,
that you never know, even just one person that we can impact, that
yeah,
can impact a lot of other people. So yes,
yeah.
now
You're
let's talk about your book.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's talk about your book and let's show it. Come on, let's show your book on the screen. Let's see here. Tears that hide within.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, tell us like just the overall synopsis of the book
Yeah.
and what
So
inspired you to actually write this book.
yeah. Yeah. So tears that hide within, I will tell you, for many, many years, people said you should write a book, right? I talked
Mhm.
earlier about, my struggles at a young age. And as I started to coach others, whether it was in life or in career or in transitioning from one place to the next, I realized that um, a lot of people were still in pain, but they didn't know how
Mhm.
to break through the barrier. They didn't know how to overcome that pain. And a lot of people didn't want to talk about certain things. Like society has stopped us from having those conversations about addictions, not just addictions, but there are other addictions as well.
Mhm.
And people are feeling, oh, you know what? People don't want me to talk about this. This is I don't feel comfortable talking about this. And so they keep it to themselves, right? And all of that pain that they've gone through in their life is just, it's like they tuck it down deep in their soul and their spirit, right? When this little boy and this little girl that, that's still there screaming to be released, we just ignore. So I wrote this book because I needed people to know that, number one, they're not alone, right? They're not alone.
Mhm.
Everyone has a journey, everyone has a story to tell, right?
Mhm.
No matter what it is. It talks about, the book is a fictional book, but it is inspired by my life. It's inspired by other
Mhm.
people's lives. And the book, the main character is Nia Stone. She's a successful attorney,
Mhm.
but she lived with trauma in her life as a child, that she just ignored. It was molestation, it was drug addiction, it was sex addiction, it was toxic relationships. And so she
Mhm.
pushed forward and really focused in on her career after she
Mhm.
was able to sort of get control of her addictions. All she did was put that energy into building a successful career, which was great, right?
Mhm.
Um, and
Mhm.
she was a dynamic attorney, right? Well respected. But at the end of the day, she never dealt with the healing and the pain that she kept inside of her, that was still inside of her. So
Mhm.
she was one of these individuals who had those tears that cry that hid within. She did not release her silent cries. She was not able to reclaim her life. But everyone on the outside saw this well put together, successful woman. But
Mhm.
behind closed doors, she was broken. And so it
Mhm.
takes you through a journey where she, even though she was in that place in her life, she still had chaos that was coming her way. That
Mhm.
it took her a while to get to a place where she realized it. It was her norm, right? Because she had been living a certain life all of her life. But she knew that during the day, she had to be a successful attorney. But at night, she was doing things that was very risky, that was very dangerous. So she lived this dual life, right?
Mhm.
Until someone said, I'm afraid for you. I'm worried about you. It took
Wow.
someone to come to say that to her, for her to
Mhm.
for it to click to say, "This is not normal, and I need to address this."
Yes.
So it talks about how she walked through the journey of self-discovery, resilience, the courage to ask for help, but then how she can trip, even though you're going through that process in your life, how you can still
Mhm.
stumble, right? And still
Yes. Yes.
fall back, right? Fall back into
Mhm.
those places where you're trying to recover from. And so it talks about how she then moved into other toxic relationships, but really had to stop and take a look at herself. So the the book really, again, takes you on the journey of Nia Stone. But Nia Stone is a person that is she's a lot of us, right? She can
Yes. Yes.
a lot of us.
Definitely.
And
Mhm.
and addiction has, it doesn't discriminate, right? Just because
Oh
you're
yeah.
successful, it doesn't mean that you haven't dealt with trauma, right? So it's really giving a look inside a person that people always think that are well put together, right? When they're not.
Mhm. Yes. And I think that's what as you said, it happens and it can relate to a lot of us
Mhm.
because we have all this pain in our lives that we instead of acknowledging them and doing something about them, we
Mhm.
just keep hiding them.
Mhm.
And you know, until we realize how important it is to acknowledge the problem, to acknowledge the issue, how liberating it is, right?
Yes,
Because if until we acknowledge that we are bondage, like we are like we cannot get out of the world and just accept who we are.
that's right.
And
That's
there is peace when we actually accept who we really are. We acknowledge our problems, we
mhm,
acknowledge our weaknesses. There
mhm.
is peace in that, there is freedom in that. And
Yeah.
now you don't have to be this, person that tries to please the world and just like live to their expectations. Uh,
No, you can't
no.
worry about what other people think or say.
Yes.
Because if you're worried
Yes.
about what other people think or say, then you're going to be stopped in your tracks, right? This
Hmm.
brick wall is going to stand right in front of you because you're worried
Hmm.
about what everyone's going to say or everyone's going to think. If you know that this is what you want to do, do it. Do it. Don't
Yes.
hold yourself back. A lot of people allow fear to hold them back. A lot of people allow the fact that they feel that they're not confident, but they have the power, they have the determination, they have everything inside of them to go and get exactly what they want, right? But they're so worried about everyone else. These
Yes.
other people are not living your life, right? So
Mhm.
you're living your
Yes.
own,
Wow.
right? So yeah.
That is so inspiring. I think if you all want to get a copy of the book, just find it in Amazon by Sabrina Williams. Tears. How do you say it again?
It's
Tears.
tears
Tears
that
that hide within. Okay.
yes.
Yes. And we don't have to hide our tears. Sometimes it also makes us feel good when we actually show our vulnerability.
That's
It
right.
just, yes. So, anyway, Sabrina, I can't believe we're on the last break and we're gonna be on the last segment of the show. But oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by your stories. So when we come back, let's continue with our final segment with our very beautiful and kind-hearted guest, Sabrina. So we'll be back after a short break.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
We're back. Okay, before we continue, let's read some more of the comments if we have new comments here. All right, for in this kind of hard to pronounce. Inanihan Valencerina. Hello po, ma'am. All right, thank you. And we have Joanne Esteriha. Good evening, Mom MJ and Mom Sabrina watching from Pangasinan. And Recto Julius, good job, Mom Sabrina, and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Ara Rakil Manungria. Thank you, Mom Sabrina, for inspiring us. Wow, thank you. And then Alexis Oliveros, hello, watching from Pangasinan. God bless po. Wow, that is amazing. And
Thank
before we also continue asking some more questions from I mean with Sabrina here, can we just show her website and let's talk about now about your business.
you. Sure.
Let's talk about there you go. Look at that. See, that's beautiful. I love it. Look at it, it looks so good, like so attractive and so bright, and it's just empowering just looking at the website. So talk about your business.
Yeah. So my business, it's I go by SIS Motivation. It's called Strategically Inspired Solutions. No one knows that name. Everyone knows SIS Motivation.
Okay.
So I actually opened the business in the middle of the pandemic, and it's a funny story. I was asked to be on to do a television, 4 episodes of a TV show. And they said, well, you need a business and you need a website. So I literally put the business together in 1 month. But it was something that I had been
I will
doing.
need you to help me with mine. Just kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was something that I've been doing pretty much my entire career. And so I am a transition coach. And what that means is that I help women and a few amazing men how to transition from where they are today to where they desire to be in their life and in their careers. So if you're in a place where, maybe you've been married for 20 years and now you're about to get a divorce and you're saying, I don't know what to do. I'm about to step in the unknown. Then, people will reach out to me and I'll walk them through that journey. It's not my journey. It's my job to ask the right questions to help them to design their life that they desire and that they deserve, right? And a lot of times in that, then that's when, of course, it becomes life coaching, because anything that you go through in life, in that
Mhm,
fear, you dig really deep and find out, where is that fear coming from, right? So I work with anyone from, again, women who are maybe going through divorces, individuals who are wanting in their career. Maybe they want to move from working a full-time job and opening a business. So I coach in that aspect, or moving from one industry to the next. Or they may not be making enough money and they want to know how to negotiate their salaries and charge for their brilliance, right? So
uh-huh,
I work with individuals in that aspect. So it's been very rewarding to coach so many people. Also, MJ and I are legendary speakers, endorsed by Les
uh-huh.
Brown. So speaking is also a part of Sis Motivation. So I love that part of it, of speaking and sharing the story to the masses. So
Mhm.
yeah, so if you're looking for life coaching, transition coaching, career coaching, or speaker, you can go to my website and schedule time with me.
Awesome, awesome. That's beautiful. Now let's talk about your signature message or your signature speech. I know
Yeah.
you love speaking. I mean, same here. I mean, I don't know, but God also has, I think, put in me this desire and passion for speaking. Because I
Mhm.
don't know if you've heard my story too. I just want to share it a little bit. I know our viewers have heard this over and over, but I just love sharing it because it's true. And this is how we actually encourage people and empower them to just follow and take that bold step to just go on for their dream. I don't know if you've heard, I grew up in public speaking. I'm not kidding. Ever since I was 7 years old, I was there in front of the whole school. I did my first public speaking at 7 years old. And
Mhm.
I did that all throughout my school days, like from elementary school up until I graduated in college. So when I graduated in high school, when everybody thinks that you're gonna go into broadcasting, journalism, and all that, right? Because they saw me. I mean, that's how I I was known. That was my identity. I was a speaker all my life. So
Mhm.
l- cut the story short, I came from a very poor family.
Mhm.
So I have relatives here in the US. They told me we can't get you in the United States if you become a broadcaster or a journalist in the Philippines. That's not the easiest ticket to the United States is becoming a nurse. So I became a nurse and I don't regret it because I'm still in the profession of service. And I think
Mhm.
that's what I was born to do, to serve. So anyhow, I became a nurse, came to the US, but you know how God good is. He's
Mhm.
so good.
He
How
is.
good God is. Sorry, I how good God is.
You
That's
know
what I
what you
meant.
meant. Yes, he is.
He's so
Mhm.
good because I became a nurse but he knew my desire ever since. He knew I was born to speak. So he gave me this opportunity. Look at it, where I am now. I have the opportunity to do this.
That's
It's
right.
even a bigger scale. I never should have I imagined that I would have my own podcast and I would be doing this live, empowering and inspiring people. So
Mhm.
whatever it is that you have, go for it, because
That's right.
God had put that in you so you can help other people, so we can make this world a better place. Anyway, let's go back to Sabrina. What is your signature message and speech?
Yeah. So my signature message is really speaking your emotional truth. I think everyone has a story. Everyone has a voice. Don't be afraid to use it. Your story can impact and help so many other people. A lot of people they were like, "Oh, is your speech going to make me cry? Oh, is your book going to make me cry?" No, it's not. Well, it might. But 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 everyone, I really encourage people to really sit back and think. You already know what you have inside of you that can
Mhm,
inspire the world or inspire your neighborhood or inspire one person. You have it, right? So speak your emotional truth. Be
mhm,
authentic. Get to know who you are. You have a voice. Your voice is your power. God gave us a voice for a reason, right? And so we
mhm,
have to use it. We have to use it. But in order to be able to use it, you got to break down those barriers of fear, right? And
mhm,
even start with one person, and share your story. So my signature speech is really around that, right? Is around use the power of your voice to make a big bold impact on the world, right?
mhm,
I think you hear me talking a lot about trauma and pain because I do think that people are stuck, right? People are
mhm,
stuck in a space in their life where they don't know how to move forward, or they're afraid to move forward, or oh, I don't have the confidence that you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
mhm.
You just have to
Yeah.
know yourself and find out who that authentic person is. Recognize your value, embrace your uniqueness, live your reality and stop living someone else's. Discover your purpose and speak your emotional truth.
Wow, that is so profound. That is
Mm.
so profound. I love it. I love it. I truly do. And I love when you said your voice is your power.
Mhm.
Because if we don't speak our truth, it's not
Mhm.
going to get out there and you're keeping it to yourself. And
Right.
what is it there for? If you don't do it for yourself, nobody else will,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Yes.
You're
So that is so, I love it. Thank you so much, Sabrina. I just love it. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. We're not, I'm not saying goodbye yet to you, but I just wanted to promote an event in the here in Houston. Can we show it? We have an upcoming. There you go. Part of this we have, it's we call it Woodstock Music Event. It's a free concert. It's gonna be a, like, I'm not kidding, like 20 acts, like solos, duets, and band performances. It's our way to give back to the Filipino American community here in Houston, Texas. It's produced by Spotlight Media and Pinoy Dreams Production, in us, and of course in cooperation with Lawin Media Network. So March 1st, don't forget, this is free. This is free. So everybody is invited. So I'm so excited. My daughter is actually performing too during that event. But yes, yes. So I'm inviting everybody. Come March 1st, Stafford Civic Center. And also, I just would like to promote, this is my husband's, business. He does like hibiscus berry. Yeah. So if you want to try it out, it's at TJ's Filipino Cuisine here in Pearland, Texas. All right. So that's it. Anyway, Sabrina, I just really want to thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank
Thank
you.
you. And just your last message to all our viewers.
Wow. Um, I the last message is to be true to yourself, right? Be true to yourself and do what you love. Find out what your passion is and spread your story, spread your journey, and make a big, bold impact on the world. Just even if it's your neighborhood, right? Just make that big,
Yes.
bold impact on someone. And you have it in you, all of you, everyone that I see here, these beautiful people I see here. Take one day, think about what is it that I can share with one person or a few people, and use the power of your voice to make that difference. It'll help you. It'll help heal you
Yes.
as well, right? So
Amen. Amen to that. Thank you so much. Thank
you're
you.
very
And now let's find out who is the winner of our game. Let's see. All right. Yay.
welcome.
Congratulations, Ruby Vergara. Wow. Thank you for always watching. She has been a very loyal viewer of the show, follower of Be Bold, Why Not. So, again, Sabrina, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for spending your precious time with us. Thank you for inspiring our viewers. Thank you for your beautiful story and your beautiful message to the world. I
Oh,
just
thank
pray
you.
that God will continue to guide you and just empower you to make the best difference in this world and to continue making a beautiful life and guiding other people discover themselves and speaking their truth and using their voices. More power to you, Sabrina.
Thank you so
And
much.
you're welcome. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching us again tonight. So, next Monday, we have another beautiful, beautiful soul that will share her wonderful story that I know can empower you. But don't forget, you have the power to make this life in your terms with God's guidance. So, take that bold step. Don't be scared. Turn your fear into fears. Good night, everyone, and God bless.
Good night.